Today's Midday Kentucky cooking segment brought to you by Creative Kitchen and Bath, where you will always cook in style.
Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. Chef Allison Davis here in the Wild Time Kitchen, and this week I've been cooking up some Greek food, and I've been focusing in on this cookbook that a friend of mine gave me from Ikaria, which is, I believe, the correct pronunciation, and that is an island off of Greece, between Greece and Turkey, and we are actually going to be taking a culinary excursion through Wild Time with a local travel host to that particular island next May of 2019. Which I think is super cool, and if you are a world traveler and want to join us, we would love for you to get in touch with us. This recipe, I think, is one of the quintessential dishes that tells you why Mediterranean cuisine is so great, and this book, I'll even kind of read a little bit that shows us just why and how the things that come together make it work so well. This is a classic Greek side. It is just spinach rice, and it's very simple to make, but there's reasons behind it and why the Mediterranean diet works so well and why these things come together so well. So all I'm doing right now is just prepping up some of the ingredients that are going to go in with our rice, such as our fresh spinach leaves here that we're just going to chop, just kind of give them a nice, rough chop, similar to if you were just cutting up some herbs. We just want to break them down and have them a little bit smaller since it's going to be mixed in with our rice. To this, we have added we're going to add some diced red onion, and we are going to also add some fresh fennel. Fennel, I believe, just kind of grows wild in that particular area of Greece. So in a lot of these recipes, you'll see fennel fronds, you'll see sliced fennel, but in the recipe you can also use dill because sometimes maybe you don't have the access to the fennel fronds. So we're going to use a combination of the fennel fronds as well as the dill in this one. So just taking our dill, chopping that up, and then I'm going to take some of the fronds here right off the end, and that just gives a bit of that licorice kind of anise flavor that I just think is so good. In addition to the fronds, to bring more of that fennel, we're going to take our fennel bulb and we're also going to slice that. So I typically will just take that core out of the center. There you can really see, just like if you were cutting a head of cabbage, you can kind of see that core there. I'm going to pop that out, and then we're just going to do some nice thin slices of our fennel. We'll break that up, and then that's going to go in with our rice as well. All right, so one other thing that we are going to do with this is add some lemon juice here in a minute. Now, you could probably saute this if you wanted, but my rice is still a little warm, so I'm probably just going to take it and mix it in a bowl. I like the little crispness of the fennel as well as the onion in there. Just to recap a little bit on how to cook your rice. We used a long grain rice here, and as you can see, it is just fluffy and perfectly cooked and nothing burnt on the bottom, which is what we want. So the trick to rice, I've talked about this before, but it's a quick, easy way to remember. It's 1, 2, 3. So 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, 3-cup yield. So that's your ratios. When you cook your rice, I typically will bring it to a boil and then I'll just let it simmer. You can simmer it covered or uncovered, but the trick is to not stir. I know so many people come in our cooking classes and then they want to stir the rice. What that does is that just tends to make it more gummy and stretch the starch. So leave it alone, let it sit, let it simmer, and then what you'll notice is little balls or little holes will kind of appear in the rice as it's cooking, and then that's an indication the water is cooked down and the rice is ready to go. All right, so what we're going to do now is just we're going to add in our spinach, add in our dill, our fennel, a little bit of our red onion, and just a little olive oil, a good extra virgin olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then this is just a beautiful side for the season. All right, I told you I was going to mention why this is so healthy, and it really covers it here in this book. But it talks about the calcium in the rice being mixed with the inulin in the spinach, with the olive oil being a monounsaturated fat, and all of this just working together and being just a typical Mediterranean dish. So you can find this recipe and much more if you go to wtvq.com/recipes tab, and you can find this one as many others. You can find me, Chef Allison Davis, on Instagram and also at our website at wildtimecooking.com. And we'll be right back after this short break.